Terrible news. UI UX design is dead. No more web design, no more app design, no more software design because it died this 2025. Who killed it? AI. If you've ever heard this saying anywhere, and I'm sure you have because this is such a common belief and it's going around everywhere now, is UI UX design dying out? Are web designers a thing of the past? Is 2025 finally the year where we get rid of designers completely? Let's go. Today we're going to talk about this whole weird claim of UI UX design, web design dying out in 2025 due to the rise of AI in all its forms, whether it's DeepSeek, ChatGPT, or any other random AI builders, whether it's Figma AI builder, Wix, or any other AI builders present. Every single thing that I talk about today is going to be a complete fact, completely accurate, which is not only going to be backed by math and data, but also you can verify all of these facts and all of these experiments that we're going to do today to find out whether there's any truth to these claims, and you can replicate them in your own home too, and you can find out for yourself whether 2025 is finally the year when UI UX design is dead, or is it just a new beginning for something much, much brighter? Let's just get into it. Number one, there are no more UI UX web designer jobs to go around because AI builders and AI automations have currently killed them all. That is a complete myth. That is not true in any case. There are a couple of people just spreading these claims like literal wildfires wherever I look. And here's the thing, anyone who's telling you this fact, number one, has not been to the future. Like me, like you, they have not seen the future. Some might say they're experienced, some might say they have foresight and vision into the future, but all of these are claims. I want you to firstly realize this. Every single one of these news headlines that you hear of AI taking over the complete web design market, there being no more jobs left, all of these are absolute myths. Anyone who's ever told you UI UX design is dying out, web design is no longer going to be a thing in 2025, AI is taking over everything, I want you to ask this question to yourself, and I want you to ask this question to them as well. Have they been to the future? And I know this seems like rudimentary, basic, weird, questionable logic, but at the end of the day, we are being realists now. If realism is the thought school that claims AI is now finally taking over all of these jobs, let's just start breaking this down for a second. Any one of these people who are giving us these insights, are spreading all of these different ideas, have any of them actually seen the future? That is the first question we need to ask ourselves. Question number two that we need to ask is there any truth to all of these tall claims? Since these claims state that 2025 is finally the year where UI UX design is going away, web design is going away, there are going to be no more jobs, is it really true right now? Their claims state that right now there are going to be no more jobs left in 2025 for web designers, UI UX designers, and all sorts of companies are going to replace these designers altogether with AI. Let's say I want to replace all of my UI UX designers with AI. The first question that comes into play here is the technology actually there? And I feel like there is a very, very clear distinction that needs to be made. Sometimes people will go ahead and throw claims at your face like AI is making giant strides, and yes, it is. This is a very, very clear point that we have to think about very, very specifically. AI is making giant strides, and I agree with that completely in all fields. But for me as a company owner to replace UI UX designers in actual projects, the first question that comes into play is the technology there yet? Is the technology strong enough for me to be able to lay off all of these different real, very, very capable people and now replace it with a machine? Is that technology here yet? Because in every single one of these claims, and I'm not kidding right now, in every single one of these statements that are made, there is always the element of now attached to it. So someone is always out here saying 2025 is the year UI UX designers go away, web designers go away. The first question I need you to ask is that technology available right now? Is there a level of technology advanced enough to be able to take my job away today? And I'm going to put that to an experiment right here. So let's just go ahead and search for whatever these great technologies claim to be that are going to take up the jobs of UI UX designers. Let's compare what they've done to what I had done as a real UI UX designer, and I'm not going to pull up someone else from the crowd. I'm going to take one of my first UI UX designs I made in my first year of UI UX designing. So this is about 6 months in, and we're going to take one of the designs that AI right now in its Giga Chat mode is giving us, and I'm also going to take for that exact same prompt the UI design that I made when I had about around 6 months of experience, and we're going to take a look at a very real comparison at what the difference between the two is. Let's go. Alright, let's now assume you're just completely new to this field, and let's just search for these supposedly cool new AI technologies that exist that are going to apparently take all of the UI design and UX design and web design job. Let's just take that claim to the test for a second. Let's just search for best web design AI software, and let's just enter that into Google for a moment. Let's just search for whatever it is, and right off the bat I have a couple of lists in front of me. Let's just start with this 4 best AI website builders article and see how good of a job they can do in replacing web design in general. Wix for most people. Let's just take a look. Let's start with creating for AI. I'm just going to sign up with Google now. Let's just start chat. Let's say we're building a website for a web design agency, because why not? What do we've got to lose? Let's let this take its time and let's see what comes up. My web design agency's name is Wonderful Websites, and I'm just freeballing things here. Who's your target audience? People looking for websites. That's good. Do you have any additional goals, such as generating leads, showcasing your portfolio, or selling services? Selling, website development and design services. Let's do them both. Why not? I am interested to see what happens here, because how long have you been offering website development and design services? Just starting out. And of course, these are all hypothetical questions. I'm just starting from the point of a layman here, not putting my actual experience, not putting any of my actual details in there. Let's see what would happen if a new person just came in and generated a site. Let's just see. I am interested to see what happens, and this whole loading period is slightly unnerving. How long is this going to take? It's been like literally a whole minute of us waiting here, hoping for the site to be ready. Let's just keep on waiting, because what are we going to do? Site brief coming in. Starting to scare me a little bit. Based on your site profile, Wonderful Websites, your web design agency will have a site structure of 1 pages. Content will be generated based on site description. Site theme will feature modern fonts and a lively professional design in off-white and black. This is really bad. This is genuinely terrible. And this is the way they're listing services for us. And this footer is terrible, but we'll get to that in a second. Now I'm just going to show you one of the website designs that I did on this very same exact brief. Let's just take a look. And this happened when I had literally less than a year of experience. This is literally a design from years ago that I kept for such a long time and then published a whole live stream and tutorial of this UI on this channel. My point is, as a human UI UX designer, this is the current standard quality, or the standard quality that I was providing 4 years ago. My quality right now for commercial projects and all projects that matter has only improved, right? So that was a weirdly accurate comparison. And here's the thing. For UI UX designers to be replaced, you need these entrepreneurs, hiring managers, business owners, whoever they are, to be able to rely on someone or something, some AI that is equally, if not more powerful, right? That is a common fact. And we have seen right now in real time, if this is the best sort of top level AI website design technology that exists, it does not come anywhere close to where real life UI UX designers are. And I'm including myself here because I'm also a part of that crowd, right? When you're looking at UI UX design and designers in general, I'm also a part of that crowd. And so when you compare something I did, something that I could have made about 4 years ago, everything that I've made from that point on is only better, right? People might say here that AI for a computer model is making great strides in terms of website design and app design and whatever. But the point is, when you are sold the belief that your job as a UI UX designer is going away today because a technology that is smarter, better, stronger exists to take your place, that technology, for whatever its strengths are, should be able to demonstrate a level of intelligence that is equal to you, if not greater. That's just the established belief. I am the greatest believer in technology and innovation. I am the strongest hype person for making great strides in terms of all sorts of AI and deep learning, machine learning, neural nets, advancements, all sorts of cool things are happening right now. I am the biggest supporter of them in the world. And yet, when we are sold claims as UI UX designers that our jobs are going away today, we have to sit here for a moment and actually fact check what's going on. Obviously, the way things are going with AI, it is pretty great in terms of where we were 5 years ago compared to where we are right now. The things that are available right now are far greater than anything we've ever seen in the history of time. But at the same time, when someone tells you your job is going away today, that AI should be able to replace you at an equal, if not greater pace. And when that is not happening in real time, that is not happening in any of these real examples, no real business owner is going to trust AI 100% without a human UI UX designer backing it, and just throw away their whole businesses at the table, throw away their whole websites at the table for this random AI bot, which is not really good right now, to just take your place, right? And here's the thing. So there is desperation from the side of the business owner to want people to get into the positions that they have open right now and to develop, design, maintain the software that they are right now making. And this desperation exists from the side of the business owner because websites for any business, and you can leave aside all of the cool tech businesses right now, you can leave them aside completely. Websites as a whole, and I'm just taking web design for now, websites as a whole serve as a portal on the internet, as an introduction to what your business is. It's very, very important in the modern day, makes you look professional. And so websites are one of the biggest, greatest, nicest introductions that business owners have to put on the table, so that whatever product or service they're offering can now be introduced. And there are also a bunch of companies that are just tech based, whether it's man companies or any other cool social media platforms, Google, Amazon, Apple, whatever companies you want to be maybe getting a job at, all of these there are these companies on the tech side of things, on the Silicon Valley side of things, that want to hire designers, developers full time to maintain their software, which is the service, by the way. So for some businesses, it's just this one website that they need to make to maybe introduce an actual product or service. But for some businesses, for example the tech businesses, you also have now this huge chunk of software as a service, whatever that might be, which needs to always be maintained and kept and be at the top level of design in itself to be able to stay at the top of their game, at the top of their competition. And so when you have this level of need coming from the side of business owners or the people who are actually employing you, now you have this place where the people who are hiring you need a surefire way, because of course your life, their life, everyone's life in the company now depends on you actually having a good website, a good system on the internet to run their business, right? So everyone who's hiring you, every place that you're ever going to get employed at, needs a good internet presence, needs a good website presence. And believe me when I say this, websites are worth a lot of money in the ways they're running right now. And so no one in the current state of AI, and I'm not getting into the code aspect of things, but I feel like this is really important to bring up here as well. Both design and in terms of development, both of these sides right now with AI are very, very janky. And that means the way AI is writing code right now, I've tested this out as a developer, is buggy, throws a lot of errors at you, and is not reliable enough to replace an actual developer. And this is exactly the same in the field of design. The way things are being designed with AI right now, it is a lot of bugs, it is a lot of confusion, it is a lot of overlapping weird lines, and it is a lot of not 100% surety in terms of relying on this completely. Even I have my own development design agency, and when I look at this as the final output that AI throws in my face when it comes to designing a website, I would not trust this as an employee. Like, if you sent an actual human employee towards me for an interview and this was the portfolio that they were bringing up, I would not hire them. And so if I'm not hiring AI disguised as a person, why now would I replace these actual very, very capable, very, very trustworthy, great design people who've just done wonderful jobs right now for a technology that is kind of finicky, kind of doing its thing, sometimes failing? And why would I risk a fully working, income generating, successful business on a technology that is still not developed? Another one of these claims state that the speed at which AI is going indicates that by the end of this year or before this year ends, in the third quarter, whatever it is, we are not going to have any place for web designers right now. And I want to break that claim down into tiny little pieces because it makes me really, really mad. For every single one of these claims, for every single one of these claimers, the people who are making up these claims of tomorrow there isn't going to be a job for you anymore, here's the true question. These people who've never seen the future, most of these people are not the ones making these magical AIs. Most of these people are not the ones who are actually making these technologies, because the people who are making these technologies know that it's not going to happen this quickly. And I say this as a developer. This is not going to happen this quickly. Like, of course, AI is improving at a great pace. Of course, AI as a helper to you, real UI UX designers, is a great deal. But at the end of the day, anyone who's ever claiming that by the end of the year you're not going to have a job anymore, here's the thing. A, the technology is not here yet. B, when they come at you with these claims of tomorrow there's not going to be that job anymore, here's my real question to you. Can you guarantee me being alive tomorrow? Like, and this is a very real question, and I know it's going to send a couple of people into their own fits and tantrums and these weird things of like, oh no, but AI is going at a great pace, you can't compare everything with death. Here's my question. Wait for a second, just hear me out. We can't guarantee the fact that I'm going to be alive tomorrow. We can't guarantee the fact that you're going to be alive tomorrow. And I'm putting a sing-songy voice at the top here, but this is quite a depressing topic, really. Death as a whole. We can't guarantee the fact that I'm going to be alive long enough to post this video. We can't guarantee the fact that you're going to be alive long enough. I know I'm sounding depressing here, but hear me out for this whole claim. We can't guarantee the fact that you're going to be alive long enough to watch this video from this point right here where we are till the end of this video. We just can't claim that, right? Because a lot of things happen that we didn't know were going to happen, but they do happen. And that shouldn't be an indicator of scaring us towards anything. I could step out of this building right now and get hit by a truck. So could you. You could step out of that building and something might fall on your head and you might die. So if you can't be sure in this very weird world that we live in, and I'm talking about a weird world because AI came up as a weird sort of thing, and I'm going to address that issue completely. In a world where we can't guarantee you and me being alive tomorrow, how can we ask someone, how can we have someone say this field is going to be dead tomorrow when there is no guarantee they're alive tomorrow, when they have not seen the future? I will accept any of these claims of web design as a field dying tomorrow if any of these future tellers show me their time machine. Like, these people have not gone to the future. Why are you believing them? These people, and all of us for that matter, can't guarantee our own lives, and yet we are out here trying to claim web design is going to go away as a field. But I know some people right now are going mad in the comments about how this is a really, really weird thing to say, how everyone is going to die tomorrow, an asteroid might hit us tomorrow, something really bad might happen tomorrow that we really don't know about, and how that can't be compared to AI because it has accurately been making all of these strides in the last couple of years. And I want to take that claim very, very logically, break it down into simple, clear facts. Here's the thing: even though we can't guarantee I might be alive tomorrow, we can still have some doctors run some sort of scans and some type of statistics and some type of things, and take all of these different test results of the human body in terms of, is this a healthy person? Are they currently young? Do they have any history of family diseases? Is there anything genetic running in their family? What is the life expectancy of their grandparents and their great grandparents and everyone before that? What is their average life expectancy in the place that they live in? And you can also find out weird social factors like, what is the crime rate where they live in? Are the buildings that they live in structurally strong enough to hold for roughly hundreds of years? Are these buildings reliable enough not to fall on our face? For example, in a hypothetical city no one drinks alcohol, the incidents of drunken driving are obviously much lesser, and so their chances of getting hit by a truck are much lesser. And here's the thing: you can take all of these questions and then you can actually build up a report that might get close. And I know there is no guarantee in this world we live in. There is going to be an estimated life report. So if someone has a long-term disease, a bad disease that's progressing even badly, now their life expectancy is going down. If someone is completely healthy, young, and has no history of family diseases whatsoever, now they have a higher life expectancy. And so when you have all of these facts in your face, now you can actually put an explanation to what a human's life is going to be, right? And you can actually predict how long this person is going to live in a very, very similar fashion. And I know this is a tall metaphor. In a very, very similar fashion, if you look at the way AI has been improving in the last couple of years, and if you look at the way AI is right now, I don't think in 2025 AI is going to entirely replace humans as UI UX designers. With that said, of course it would be a good thing if we had AI as helpers to us. So all of these personal chatbots, if you look at Google Assistant, if you look at Siri, Alexa, and all of these, Cortana, all of these awesome things that have come in, have simplified our lives so much. They run on AI. Even ChatGPT and Midjourney and Leonardo and all of these really, really cool things that have come in recently are helping us by such huge margins in our real life, and yet they can't take over your job entirely. Are they great helpers? Hell yes. Are they helping us in ways we've never been helped before in terms of personal assistance and technology? Absolutely. Is the level of innovation really, really at an all-time high? Is this the greatest time to be alive? Yes to all of those questions. But at the same time, the current rate at which AI is progressing is not speedy enough to replace UI UX designers this year or for the upcoming couple of years. And here's the thing: at the current state at which things are, if you take things at their face value, it is going to be really, really difficult for business owners and for anyone at all to just throw it in the hands of AI and just hope for the best. Like, AI does not have that kind of quality right now, and it probably won't on its standalone without human interaction for foreseeable future. For now, innovation going forward is a good thing. For the level of super intelligence required to completely take over human developers and designers, the technology isn't here yet. I'm not saying it's never going to be made. I strongly believe that AI is going to make great strides in the fields that it is going at right now, but at the same time, that level of speedy technology is not here in the present, right? And sometimes the only guarantee that you can take is the guarantee of the present, and that is the state with technology. Technology in the last couple of years has changed a lot, and it has changed for the better. And so in the current state of things, embracing AI as it comes to us as a really, really cool but quite dumb, for that matter, assistant is a good thing. From the point of view of looking at it as a computer doing all of these cool things under the hood, it is actually quite awesome, and it is quite awesome to be an assistant. But in a real world scenario, when a claim states that all UI UX designers or web designer jobs are going to go away this year or in the foreseeable future, here's the question you need to ask yourself: if you let AI the way it is today and let it run all of the code that's running under the hood and all of the design that's going on under the hood, and if you just let it run wild today, would the internet even be a place, or would it just crash and burn down? I've tried this a bunch of times, and I encourage you to as well. Build a simple app on any of these ChatGPT and all of these super cool platforms. Just ask them to give you the code. Do it with DeepSeek, do it with ChatGPT, and you will finally actually see the level of advancement that it is at and how buggy the code actually is. Like, I like to pad what I say with praise, but the code actually gives a lot of bugs, and it actually gives you a lot of problems and a lot of crashes. And I, as a developer, and most developers that I know, write more error-free code compared to AI. Like, of course, AI is a great search tool, great assistant, great thing to like help you with all of your little essays and stuff, but the level of complexity involved in UI UX design, web development, software development as a whole, as these fields, and I say this as a professional in all of these, is just really complex. And for AI to be able to reach that, it is that level of complexity, it is going to be a while before we are completely swiped off. Immediately right now, I don't think people are really losing a lot of jobs just because AI came and it just took over, because even business owners and people who are actually in charge of all of these different websites know that the technology isn't there yet. You can actually see this for yourself. The technology isn't here yet. But in a world where right now most humans, and in the foreseeable future some humans, are still employed in this field, in a field where all of these different people are still earning real world money, why can't you be that person, right? A bunch of people right now are very profitable just by being in these fields. And sometimes, now that technology is changing, we also take the help of all of these really cool tools. Will some people who are just not innovating, not providing any value, get laid off? Yes, but here's the thing. What were the chances of you being replaced by a human? AI in its current state as a neural net is impressive, but as a real UI UX designer, it is quite terrible. And in a world where that is the truth, in a world where AI in its current web design state is terrible, now the bar with which AI is taking over jobs is really low. Because if you are better than the way AI is designing right now, your job is safe. But if you are worse than the way AI is designing right now, if your designs are worse, if you are worse as a professional, AI might take over your job. That is a very real possibility. But my question is, the bar that AI has set right now for this break-off point is really low, which means if you were in the bottom percentage, if your designs, if your work was actually so terrible that the current state of AI, which is not very good, was able to take you over, what were the risks of you being removed and someone else being hired in your place who was a better designer in the first place? That also happens. Even if AI did not exist, if you were a bad designer, and if AI did not exist in this hypothetical reality, even if you were a bad designer, you would not have your job for a really long time. Like, if someone was a bad designer in my own company, I would just throw them out at some point, right? Because if you were a terrible designer and AI did not exist in an alternate reality, you would still be replaced by someone who was doing your job better than you. And that is always going to be a true fact. So if your current design skills, if your current skills as a professional are lower than the bar that AI has set, which for now is very buggy and very low, what were the chances of you being replaced by a human? And then that would have made no difference to you whatsoever. Who replaces you isn't the question here, because the bar for AI is really low right now. And the question is, if you were really this bad, a human could have taken you over. Like if you can't do better than what AI is doing right now, you're not going to have a job for a very long time, even if AI isn't in the play here, because there are humans with great design skills and capabilities who have practiced greatly and who have mastered the craft in great ways, and they would come for your job anyways. If you were below a certain point, it stops mattering whether AI takes over your job or whether this other guy takes over your job. If your design skills are terrible, your job is going to be taken over anyways. For a really long time right now, there are always going to be some humans responsible for web design, UI UX design, or development, software development of any sort, whether it's websites, apps, games, whatever it is. There are always going to be some humans, at least for a very long foreseeable future, who are in these fields and who are earning a profit. Here's my question to you. What is stopping you from being those persons, from being one of those few people? if your design skills are good enough, they're better than wherever AI is at right now, and they're better at wherever AI is at a couple of years from now, you are always going to be the better pick when it comes to choosing who the better option is, whether this AI or whether this human being, right? So for as long as you do have a really, really good understanding of your actual job, for as long as you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, the chances of AI replacing you are already very, very small, right? And for as long as a human is there making a profit out of this field, why can't you be that human? Why do you have to accuse AI of taking away everything? AI might take over a job, a human might take over a job. The threat of being replaced by someone else always exists. There is always going to be someone, some AI, some weird, something or the other that's going to take over what you do right now if you are not evolving fast enough, well enough in all fields of tech. And that's just the established, that competition is always going to be there. So there is no point in thinking about it too much. And I feel like at the end of the day, for as long as humans are actually making a profit out of the field of web design, web development, the true question we have to ask ourselves is, why can't you be that human? AI and all of these claims being made right now do not stand any practical evidence, as I've tried to search for it everywhere, literally. I would want to see what you think about this topic. Comment what your thoughts are down below. Comment why you think AI is going to take over the job market right now in 2025. And I'm being a practical realist here, and I will make a video in the next coming 2 or 3 days max, and I'm going to talk about all of these different ideas that you people throw at me also in the comments, and I'm going to break them down, and I'm going to break down all of the different things that happen. And if I've actually debunked the whole AI is going to take over my jobs myth for you right now, write that down below, and we'll make a true reaction video and a true video on everything that's going on after this video is actually out. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this one. Make sure to like and subscribe, because of course I'm on YouTube, so that is the way of the land, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.